and such. Where
Yeah.
did my phone go? Oh, it's up there.
Oh shit! I should have been prepared. I need to get like a Spider-Man 2 GIF up real quick.
Okay, go for it.
Yeah.
Um,
And it sounded like me screaming.
oh,
Like I heard something in the background that just sounded like me screaming. I don't know.
that's weird.
That's just my mind. I
Are you
scream.
haunted by your own screams?
Yes, I am. I'm tormented in them every day.
Oh dear.
Shit. Ugh. Hold on.
Profile.
Here we go. I got the perfect one. The one that will attract all the Raimi fanboys to us.
Oh dear.
When in doubt, use the pizza time meme.
Yes,
Because
yes.
that
I'm so excited. Like I'm like Spider-Man 2 is my favorite Spider-Man movie, so like this is gonna be fun for me. Well,
I'm looking
I haven't
forward to
seen
this.
Spider-Man. I haven't seen Spider-Verse yet, so that's up for debate. But like, yeah.
Oh God, I I don't understand how you can't have seen Spider-Verse
I
yet. Oh my
just
God.
like I haven't had money, and I'm like I literally like I finished Aquaman, and I haven't had money since. Like tomorrow when I go see Endgame will be the first time me going to the theater in months. Like I just didn't have the money. Hopefully in a couple weeks I'll be able to buy
That's
the movie.
understandable. You could probably rent it at Redbox for like $1.
That's what I might do.
Yeah. Going down to twitch.tv/on comics ground.
Yes.
I can't write and talk at the same time. I'm terrible. I can't write and talk at the same.
Ooh,
For
we had a relay. We had an overlay because the whatchamacallit was up. Okay, there we
oh
go. Well, no, like I heard you say that right as the Twitch stream was saying that. So like I was like,
oh
what?
no, I'm looking forward to this because you know everybody's favorite Spider-Man movie seems to be Spider-Man 2, and like mine is like I love it. Don't get me wrong, I love it, but I have some pretty like strong. I don't know if I could classify them as strong, but I'm going to say strong so they're impactful. I have some things to say about it.
Are you
So
gonna be mean to it?
uh it'll be out of love.
Okay, well hit the tweet
Like
button so I can retweet it.
all right. Okay. Okay.
That way we can get started.
All right. And tweet. It's loading. There we go. All right. There we go. All right.
All right, cool. You can get started whenever you are ready, sir.
All right. Am I ready? I don't know. Okay.
How are you not ready?
I don't know. Who is ready for anything? I don't know.
That's true, because I'm not ready for tomorrow. Like, Endgame's going to be very emotional for me.
I love how you, like... Okay, never mind. But, like, I'm not ready. I am not ready. Okay.
We're all going to cry, like, horribly. It's not going to be fun.
Oh, yeah. It's... Okay, so, you ready?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. Hello to all of you amazing web slingers. Welcome to Livin on the Edge, the podcast all about our friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. My name is Alec. I am your host. You can follow me at the Alec Thorn on Twitter. And today I am joined once again by my editor-in-chief, James. James, introduce yourself. Tell us how you're doing.
What's up? My name is James. As he said, I am the editor-in-chief of On Comics Ground. I am also the co-host of our other flagship show, Panel to Panel, and I'm also going to be one of the co-hosts of our upcoming podcast, Blurred Grounds. So that is some awesome plot line. You can follow me on Twitter at JamesCPortis3. If you can't spell my last name, both of our Twitters are actually on the screen because I was able to figure out how to do that today.
Oh, yay. I definitely see that. I'm not making him do all the editing this time. That would be lazy of me.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So, how are you doing today, James?
I'm pretty good. I'm like, anxiously waiting for Avengers Endgame tomorrow, but like the idea of sitting down and talking about another good Marvel movie like gives me something to hope for. So sitting down talking about this is actually pretty good for me.
Yeah, I'm just like I've managed to avoid spoilers this far, and this is like a good distraction right now to make sure I'm not scrolling through Twitter. I have muted like look, I have muted over 140 words and terms on Twitter. Like I am
140.
I have so many fucking safety nets right now to make sure that nobody spoils this shit for me.
See,
Like
man, like I know the world like really doesn't like spoilers, but like I've gotten to the point where I don't care. Like I've adopted the philosophy of as long as it's good, I can still enjoy the final product. So like, if
yeah.
people are spoiling it for me, I will be fine.
Yeah, like I totally understand that. Me personally, like with some films, I'm less like worried about spoilers for. Like Ant-Man the Wasp, I didn't really care if it was spoiled for me. Like I enjoyed it, and like I know some people have opinions on it, but I enjoyed it. But I didn't care because like I spoiled the post-credits scene for myself. I didn't care. Because it didn't seem like it was going to be a super spoiler filled movie. But for a movie like Endgame, it's like I can't have this ruined for me at all. I need to go in like as blind as humanly possible.
I mean,
And
you'll love it when Batman shows up.
oh yeah, I'm gonna cry when Joe Swanson dies. Yeah, rest in peace.
Oh my god. I saw a picture from I forget what con it was. Someone went to a con. Oh, yeah, someone went to a con as like Thanos Joe Swanson, and I was dying.
I saw this picture where it was like Hispanic Thanos.
Oh my,
Did you see that?
yeah, like
It was like
the Infinity Chunkla.
yeah, yeah. Oh my god, that was great. But yeah, like for this and like episode 9 of for the Rise of Skywalker, I'm like I want to go in as blind as possible. But yeah, Endgame is out tomorrow. Hope y'all are gonna see it. Please do not spoil it for anybody.
No, hashtag
Um,
spoiling game.
don't spoil the Endgame. Please, like, be respectful. Don't like if you willingly go and just spoil something for people just to like get a rise out of them and get attention. I feel sorry for you because like you have nothing better to do than do that.
Hi,
But
Ian.
hi, Ian. I can't see you because like, well, no, I can. I'm not making James edit this for me because I'm not lazy. Haha.
You can see the chat.
No, I can't.
Pull up the Twitch stream. Just mute the chat.
Okay.
Just mute the
Okay.
mute the vocals. You can see the chat too.
Okay. I'll see it. Ooh, dang. That's a nice thumbnail. Oh, I mean, no, I definitely made that thumbnail, right? Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Anyway.
Anyway.
But no, Spider-Man 2.
Oh, wait. First,
Oh, what's
we
we
gotta-
first?
we gotta go through some news.
Oh, okay. Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, let's get right into the news. I made myself laugh with that. Nobody got that joke. Okay. So I think the biggest thing is Far From Home has a new release date. It has been moved up from July 5th to July 2nd, and some people are like, "Why is it releasing? Why is it releasing on a Tuesday?" Well, Sony actually did this with the Amazing Spider-Man in 2012. Well, it wasn't originally on a Friday. It was going to be on like July 3rd, which was a Tuesday. They did this so they could like get those like opening night preview sales and not have to worry about 4th of July getting in the way.
Oh, okay.
So they decided to do this from now and then. Like, hey, if it's coming like a few days earlier, I'm fine with it. Like,
I mean, yeah, like they did the same thing last year with Infinity War, so like it makes sense. Like, I'm
Yeah.
fine with it.
It's strange because like they were doing it again for Endgame this year to like push it up a week because it was originally going to be May 3rd, and then they pushed it up to the 26th, and then they had like every other country get it on the 24th and 25th. So it's like, but anyway, it's all good, And we also got 2 new images from Far From Home. One is just Peter and MJ hugging. Well, Peter in his red and black Spider-Man suit. Still hoping they pull that MacGuffin and name her Mary Jane Watson, but
Well, there's a rumor going around that apparently, or like a theory going around that she's gonna be Nick Fury's daughter, and I was like,
oh no, that's not a rumor. That's just a dumb theory one website made. We don't have to worry about that. That's just a dumb rumor. That's just not even a rumor. It's just somebody's dumb theory. I personally don't think that's gonna happen. If it did, I wouldn't be as up in arms at it as some other people.
But like I would just sit in my corner like, why?
Yeah, I'm just I'm just hoping that I won't be mad if they don't name her Mary Jane Watson, but they should have from the get-go.
Yeah,
they should have.
That was my
from
biggest
the
issue with it, where it was like, if you're gonna do the race change, you need to commit to it. Like screw the fanboys, screw everything. Like, if you're like, I would prefer you not and just make a new character. That way she have a big thing. But if you're going to do it, commit to it. Like, make this new idea of an African American / biracial. I don't know what Zendaya is, but like, make it like primarily African American. Mary Jane Watson, stick to your guns and make it happen. Because going, oh, she's Michelle. My friends call me MJ. It felt like such a Dark Knight Rises slap to the face of, oh, my real name's Robin. Like, shut up. Like, it just, ugh. I wish they would have stuck to their guns and did it. Like, if you're gonna you already annoyed me with Ned Leeds. Like, if you're gonna do it, do it. Like, we've already crossed the bridge. You have Flash Thompson as a short little guy. Like, you've already crossed the changing bridge. Like, just go with it.
At least with Ned, Flash, and Liz, they committed to it.
Yes.
But with MJ, they didn't. But the word on the street is, and I don't know how true this is because it comes from a source that has said some pretty, not good. And I don't mean just critically not good stuff. I mean some legitimately not good stuff. But the word on the street is Marvel can't use Mary Jane Watson because Sony's being a little bitch about it.
What the hell?
Which I could see that, but I don't know how much validity there is in that.
I don't know.
Because, I wouldn't put it past Sony to do something dumb as hell like that. Because they're no stranger to doing dumb shit. They're making fucking Morbius with Jared Leto. They're wasting Matt Smith as evil Morbius.
And they're ruining what's his face's career as well, Tyrese, and I'm just like, oh.
Oh yeah, I feel bad for Tyrese. He thinks he's in the MCU, and I'm just like,
yeah, he thinks this is all so cool. He gets to be in a Marvel movie, and I'm just like, Tyrese, no.
And it's sad because I'd like to see him in the MCU. I enjoy him as an actor, but it just sucks. Sony's gonna go under in a few years, and that's sad because Spider-Verse is really good and I want to see more of it, but Apple's looking to buy them up, and I mean, God, I'd hope it would be Apple and not Disney, because Disney does not need to get any fucking bigger than it is already.
Agreed, but the idea of even if Apple bought it, I would prefer them just give Disney the Spider-Man license and be done with it, because
oh no, they will.
Time we had to have an issue like this, we just bought the company. If Apple's just gonna play ball and be like, here's your license, we don't want it. I would be okay with that.
The word is if Apple buys Sony, the rights will automatically revert back to Marvel. Apple's Apple's not going to get the rights to it. The rights are just going to go back to Marvel, which is fine. If Marvel could keep the Spider-Verse stuff going, I'd love that. But if they can't, it's fine, I guess. Because I just want them to keep Tom Holland for as long as possible and make all these incredible stories with Peter Parker come to life. But
I mean, we're getting a Spider-Man TV show apparently.
Oh shit, I didn't know that. If John Mulaney's coming back, then it's worth it. If he's not, and they're gonna do that thing where they get somebody who sounds like him but isn't actually him, then it's not worth it. But anyway, so we got that. We got Far From Home looking interesting. We still don't have a second trailer for it, which is interesting because Sony usually just gives every fucking reveal in like the trailer and shows as much as possible because they're not confident in their own movies.
No,
But I digress. But like the only two things they've managed to keep like unspoiled from like the majority of people for the last two Spider-Man movies are Vulture being Liz's dad and Olivia Octavius in Spider-Verse. Those are like the two things they were able
they're
to keep.
good at hiding their villains.
They're good at hiding their villains, yeah. But anyway, we got that coming on the horizon. So we also have Life Story, which has been really interesting. You haven't read Life Story yet, have you, James?
I want you to sell me on it because I've been nervous to mess with it. Like I have a good track record with Tom Taylor, but I didn't know how I felt about getting into this.
Oh no! It's not Tom Taylor. It's Chip Zdarsky.
Oh, okay. Well, like then I still have like a couple of, like my relationship with Zdarsky is hit or miss. So like I need you to sell me on it.
Okay, so like there are some things that I'm kind of off about with this new issue, which takes place in the 70s. It takes 10 years. Like basically in the first issue, Peter Parker was 20, and in this one he's 30. It's 10 years later. So in this issue, we find out he's married Gwen Stacy, and Flash Thompson died in the Vietnam War. So like it opens with Peter like talking about like talking to the grave, and you think, oh, it's Uncle Ben, but no, it's Flash Thompson. So basically, Peter works for Reed Richards. Reed Richards is pretty messed up because basically Namor stole Sue away from him.
Oh God.
Yeah. We don't know how, but from if his attitude was always like this, then it's kind of easy to see because he's kind of a dick in this issue. So it's like Peter, Reed, and Otto fucking Octavius, because Otto Octavius became a good guy now, and he still has his robot arms, and he fucking married Aunt May. So but it's interesting. It's interesting. Like if Otto's not being a dick, then like okay, that's interesting.
Yeah,
that's so yeah. So Gwen works for Miles Warren doing genetics development, and so
God, I'm trying to think. A thing or like what's going on with that?
Yeah, Gwen and Peter are married.
Oh, yay.
Yeah, so, don't say yay for long, but basically...
Oh,
so, like, basically, they're both going through the motions of their daily lives. Peter has this kind of fucking rad new suit, which is, like... It's, like, red and dark blue.
Interesting.
And it has, like, a chest logo that's similar to, like, the Superior logo or even, like, the PS4 logo. But, yeah, so, and he has like a bunch of like silver armor on, which is pretty interesting. But so basically, yeah, so in the last issue, Norman got arrested, and basically he's having Harry do his bidding now, and Harry's the Black Goblin, not the Green Goblin. Yeah.
Hey, at least it ain't the new Goblin, but we'll get to
that later. Oh god. At least he doesn't have that paintball mask. But yeah, so there's this one scene that I like really irked me, which is basically Peter is invited to a disco club to have fun while Gwen's working, I think. And he basically, this is our first reveal of MJ, and she's the fiance to Harry. And basically, like, for this whole scene, it doesn't feel like, you know, even in her early days where she's like seen as the, you know, the party girl, she's always been like endearing in some way. Like she's always been earnest to a degree. Here, she just seems like, I don't know, like she just seems like very cynical and very angry because like out of the blue, she like reveals to Peter that she's known he was Spider-Man since they were 15, which is like a callback to the dual lives or parallel lives, whatever that story was called, where it revealed that she found out Peter was Spider-Man the day Uncle Ben died. But basically she like snaps at Peter and blames him for Flash's death and accuses him of being so stuck up and always thinking he's better than everybody else. But this is like after Peter saw Harry like high off his ass, like off of like LSD or something. So Peter's like uncomfortable and MJ's like, you're just a goody two shoes. I'm like, I mean, I'd be uncomfortable around somebody who's like high off their ass. I don't know, but anyway, that irked me. But what happens is that um the Black Goblin, uh, the
Also,
Black
speaking of
Goblin.
which, Ian, neither of us, I don't think I've ever read Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur because he said insert pink goblin joke, and I'm like, I've never
Oh
read that book.
God, I've heard good things about it. I want to.
Oh, I've heard great things. I just know it like the book isn't for
Yeah,
me. That's why I prop it up as yay, good black rep, but like I don't. It's not for me. I'll stick to reading my
yeah,
Black Panther and reading with my Space Wakandans. That's for me.
yeah. That's I feel that. I feel that. But yeah, so basically, the Black Goblin attacks Gwen's workplace, and Peter goes to stop him. And we find out that Miles Warren made a deal with Norman Osborn years ago to like make a clone of him, so he could put the clone in jail and continue his activities as, the Green Goblin. But then we see that he also made a clone of Peter and a clone of Gwen.
Oh
And
dear.
so basically, Gwen runs away from Miles, and they run outside, and Peter's fighting the Black Goblin, and he kind of turns Harry to his senses, and Harry throws pumpkin bombs into the building and blows up all the clones. So Peter finds the Norman clone and the Gwen clone dead, and he brings his own clone out because his own clone is still alive. And Miles is like desperately trying to get back in. And this is when we find out that the Gwen in the pod was the real Gwen, and the Gwen married to Peter was a clone because Miles wanted to fucking run away with Gwen and get married to her.
Why does every Spider-Man writer think that clones solve things? Like clones ruin everything.
But
I've had this problem like ever since Bendis did it in Ultimate Spider-Man. I've had this problem where I think that clones are the worst thing you could do in a Spider-Man book. It frustrates me. I thought we learned our mistakes from maximum clonage. Like we have become a better society without clones, and yet we keep going back to clones. Bendis did it in Ultimate. Freaking Slot did it in Dead No More. Like I need the cloning to stop. I need like a protest sign that just says cloning needs to stop.
like, okay, it's dumb, but like I think it works well in the context of this issue. But no, like clones need to fucking stop. But yeah.
It reminds me of Nick Fury with his dang life model decoys. Like it's always his way of getting out of a sticky situation. You need to stop with the clones.
Yeah. But so the real Gwen dies. Harry runs away and like leaves MJ with millions of dollars. So the clones of Gwen and Peter survive. So we cut to a year later, and MJ is sending the two of them off, and the Peter clone and the Gwen clone are going to live in a new town, and they're now going to go by Ben and Helen Parker.
Of course they are.
Yeah. So beautiful. Magnificent. So basically, the issue ends, I think, in a good way, because it has MJ acting like herself. Where basically Peter is like kind of reclusive now. Like he hasn't grown out a beard or anything, but he's like reclusive, and MJ's checking on him, and he's like, I have nothing now. Like, where's my new life? And he's like, Harry left you, and you have millions, and you don't even have to sleep with him anymore. Where is my new life? And basically it ends with him hugging and MJ telling him, that's not true. You do have something. So it implies they're going to get together now from here on out, which, it would
okay.
It would have been interesting if, Gwen survived the whole time.
See,
but
that like I want to go back to House of M, Peter. Have you ever read House of M, Alec?
I read the first Spider-Man issue of House of M where he, like, in his new life.
Okay, like I want to go back to that because for anybody who doesn't know what about or ever read House of M, it was a whole thing where like Scarlet Witch went crazy and like tried to give everybody their like true heart's desires and whatnot. Like she made mutants the dominant species on the planet and whatnot. And Peter was the premier superhero still. Gwen was alive. Uncle Ben was alive. Like Gwen and him had a kid. Like everything was Gucci. I still want to have like an ongoing series of that. Like that would be an amazing series to follow up with, especially from that perspective, or something similar where like kind of similar to like Renew Your Vows, where Gwen's still alive. Because I don't prescribe to be a Gwenist. I'm very much a Mary Jane person, but
Yeah.
the idea of having Gwen be alive for more than 5 minutes is very appealing to me. Like,
Yeah.
the idea of like a parallel world where Peter and Gwen live off for a while sounds very intriguing because we always see Peter and Gwen always have tragedy, whether Gwen dies or Peter becomes a lizard. Like it always seems like they never have a win. So a parallel world where they get to have a win would be very intriguing to me.
Yeah. Like it would be interesting to see. I'm weird with that because it's like I love the relationship of Peter and Gwen, and like especially in the Amazing Spider movies, which I can't wait to talk about when we get to those. But
Hi Vortex
like
HD, we're doing pretty good. We're talking
hi,
about Spider-Man.
yeah, that's what the podcast is about.
Yes.
That sounded so sarcastic, so I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be mean. But no, like I love Peter and Gwen, but it's like Peter and MJ is the fucking relationship, and like it's a testament that like Marvel tried so hard to bury it in the dirt. Like
Yes.
after One More Day, they tried to say no, Peter values his old aunt more than MJ, and will like fucking break reality just so he can have his aunt back and not MJ. Like
Yeah.
and just spent them and just had like this really not feel good issue at all where it's like MJ and Peter just like they're like, yeah, we're moving on. It was nice being together, but you know. And like after 10 years, we finally have a writer come back being like, you know what, I'm going to fucking put them back together and no one's gonna stop me. And like, okay, there are things going on that make you a bit worried, but like at least they're back together.
Yes.
Like, and it acknowledges that yeah, this is like this isn't just Peter's story, this is MJ's story too. This is their story.
Yes.
So I think they're like the absolute like that like I can't see an alternate route for, like whatever story Gwen is in, where like any alternate story where she and Peter are together, I always feel like it's going to end in some way where MJ's going to come around and Peter's going to get with MJ. But no, it would be interesting to see like an ongoing where Gwen never died, nothing bad ever happened to her, and her and Peter got together. But regardless of like my negative thoughts, I still really like Life Story.
Okay.
And I'm excited to see where the next issue goes, because next issue is going to deal with the symbiote. And the cover of it is beautiful, though. It's like it's him in the black suit in a coffin with like a bunch of nuclear warheads with the communist symbols on them, like dangling from the top. No, it's really cool. It's really cool. Let me show you.
No, I'll look it up. What number is it?
Number 3. It's really cool looking. It's really cool looking.
That sounds very weird.
No, it looks really cool. Like, trust me.
Oh, okay. I mean, like,
yeah,
it's a little strange, but like, I'm with it. I'm with it.
Yeah, this whole story is going to be strange, but like, I'm with it. Like, I'm looking forward. Like, Zdarsky can't really do complete wrong to me. Like, I haven't read a story. I'm sure, like, he's had misses, like you've said.
Like the reason why I say he's hit or miss for me is that like Marvel 2-in-1, like it started really strong and like made me cry a lot, but then like the minute it seemed like he was passed over to write Fantastic Four, it seemed like it took a bit of a dive. So it's almost like the writing, like was very reflective of it. Almost like he was told, "Hey, we're probably gonna cancel this, so like do whatever you want and make it quick." And it shows that little bit of an issue he had. Now, granted, his Daredevil's been great. I will acknowledge that. His Daredevil's been great. Every issue of Peter Parker's Spectacular Spider-Man I read was amazing. So, like, he's definitely an amazing writer, but, like, it's very well known for me that he has his hit or misses.
Yeah. But I think things are going to get very interesting moving forward, and it still has potential to be, like, one of the best stories of this year, but we'll see how it all ends, because, like, the last issue is going to be in the 2010s, and he's going to be 70. Okay. So that's going to be interesting to see when that happens. But anyway, that's pretty much all the news we got. So what do you say we actually dive right into the main topic of this podcast, which is Spider-Man 2. Pizza time. Yeah. You like that? You like that, Raimi fans? Pizza time. Haha, it's funny because we said pizza time. No need for an actual joke. We just need to say pizza time, and it's the funniest joke ever.
Okay, stop.
Okay. I'm sorry. I got that out of my system now.
What's your beef with pizza time?
No, I love it, but like people act like it's the funniest thing ever, and it's like it's a nice gag, but it's like it's not like.
Have you like laugh played out loud. The Spider-Man 2 video game so much that like the pizza time?
Yes, I have.
I have rotted your brain.
Yes, I have actually. Yeah, but so I'll just talk a bit about the history of Spider-Man 2. So, as you know, it's the sequel to Spider-Man 1. Who would have guessed? So like apparently, like right when like. They like greenlit the sequel like super soon after the first one came out, and like Sam Raimi and some of the writers and producers only had like a 3 or 2 week break after Spider-Man 1 released, and they were immediately on work for Spider-Man 2.
Wow, I did not know that.
So yeah, it was that's Sony for you, haha. But so it's pre-production started pretty quick after Spider-Man 1 came out, and apparently it took a toll on Sam Raimi. Like Danny Elfman himself said like he never wanted to work with Sam Raimi again after Spider-Man 2 because like he'd never experienced such a negative environment, which I don't know how true that is, but because I mean some BTS photos show that people are having fun and whatnot, but I mean Danny Elfman probably wasn't on set, so I mean you don't know. Yeah. We don't know. Well, it could be one way or the other. But if Sam Raimi had a negative attitude, I wouldn't be surprised, nor would I really blame him because Sony was demanding so much from him. But anyway, and especially with the shit he went through with Spider-Man 4, but I'll talk about that when we get to Spider-Man 3. Yeah. So, or Amazing Spider-Man, whichever one, yeah. But, so there was that, and then like for a while, it's either because he injured his back during Seabiscuit filming or he was demanding too much money. Apparently, Tobey Maguire was like out of commission for a while, and Sony, Seabiscuit of all things, Seabiscuit took him.
I broke my back with Seabiscuit. I can't be Spider-Man.
but no, like for like a while. Jake Gyllenhaal was cast to be his replacement.
Oh, wow.
And it was interesting because Jake Gyllenhaal was actually dating Kirsten Dunst at the time. So...
You made me choke on my apple juice. I didn't know that.
But yeah, no. It was interesting. He was
James.
he was riding a horse, yeah. Take my horse to the old road.
I love that song, but no.
I'm sorry, but anyway, so Jake Gyllenhaal was like all set to go, and then Tobey Maguire came back. He's like, "No, I'm okay. We can start filming now." So Tobey Maguire is back in the saddle, haha. But so basically that's pretty much the whole history about it. Like it came out in I remember. When the first trailer came out, I vividly remember downloading it, and it was constantly buffering, and I was getting so irritated. Like, little 4-year-old me was getting so fucking pissed because it was. I think I was I 4 or 3 at the time. I can't remember, but like I remember it. I remember it vividly. But
See, my first memory of this dang movie was I played the video game before I watched the movie. So, like, I went into the movie and was like, "Where's the alien?" And my mom was like, "What are you talking about?" Like, Mysterio, the alien. And she's like, "What the hell are you talking about? No more video games for you." Because, like, yes, it was all like an illusion or like a prank, bro. But literally, you fought aliens on top of the Statue of Liberty in the video game. So then when like you go into the movie and you're like there's no aliens, I'm like, what? What is this?
oh god,
There's just a moody Spider-Man and Christian Dunst. Like, what's going on?
yeah. But no, like I didn't play the game until like 2 years after the movie came out, I think. But like I remember waiting for that trailer to load and seeing Doc Ock for the first time in that, and that was cool. And I saw it opening day with my mom,
Nice.
and yeah. So that was I remember like needing to go to the bathroom, so I ran out of the theater and tried to like pretend to web swing my way to the bathroom, and then running back. I was a dumb fucking kid. You want to know
horrible. I'm sorry.
what I did? What I also did as a kid is when I played soccer, I would see my shadow like I had like the community soccer games or whatever, and like I'd see my shadow, I'd stop dead in my tracks and start doing Spider-Man stuff and watching my shadow. And I even got another kid to do it with me, and the coach and like the other kid's parents got so pissed at me. And I was like, I was a fucking 5-year-old kid. Like, what did you expect from me? Like, I don't know, but no, that was fun. I loved Spider-Man, obviously. So yeah, so James, what are your thoughts on Spider-Man 2?
Like, overall thoughts.
Like just start like saying stuff that you thought about it. Start saying lie if you need to.
We're not gonna lie. Oh my gosh. For me, Spider-Man 2 is a like. I say it's my favorite Spider-Man movie because it like up until like there's a definitive point in the movie that frustrates the ever living god out of me, and it's the scene in the diner where like Mary Jane's like, "Do you love me?" And I'm just like, this is where I turn off for like a good like half an hour where like this isn't good, and then Otto throws the car in the window, and then I'm like, okay, now I'm on board. Like, you were irritating my soul, woman, and then Otto throws the car through the window. That was when I was like, okay, now I'm on board, because there have been times in the comics where Peter has lost his powers, quote unquote, or has given up being Spider-Man. We've had those moments. So like, up until that point, it felt like everything I had wanted in a Spider-Man movie. And then there's like that little 15 minutes of why is this happening? And then it goes right back into the flow, right everything that I want. Harry pulls the dagger, yada yada, everything goes perfect. Like, so when I think of Spider-Man 2, every time I watch it, I love it more and more because it gives me a thing I want. Like, yes, Tobey isn't the perfect Spider-Man, but he's a great Peter Parker. He's caring. He does whatever he can to make the buck. Like, say what you want about Pizza Time. It like that's him trying to make a living and live in a crappy apartment and find his way through life while also trying to attend school and be Spider-Man. Like, all of those things wrapped in one. Like, he goes to Kirk Connors, like, hey, I'm sorry, I'm late again, I'm yada yada. Like, okay, here, go see, I don't want to tell you this, is extra credit, go do that. Like, everything flows perfectly as a movie, even much better than Spider-Man 1. So, overall, I think that even if I do, like, sooner or later when I do watch Into the Spider-Verse, I will still probably say that Spider-Man 2 will be my favorite, because of the fact that it like did so much for the character, and like, yeah, some people will say that Spider-Man 3 ruined him, but like did it though? Like, we'll have that conversation in like 2 weeks, but like, did it though? So like, I definitively love Spider-Man 2. That's my overall thought there.
I so um oh boy. Like, okay, I'm gonna preface this. I love Spider-Man 2. So any and all criticisms I have against it, just know it's out of love.
Okay.
Okay? Are we all on board with that?
Yes.
Okay. So I rewatched it recently and I loved it a bit more than the last time I saw it. Because for a while I was kind of just like, Spider-Man 2 wasn't as good as I remember. And like, it still isn't, but like, it is better than I last remembered it. Because there, like you said, there's so much good stuff in it. Like, Peter Parker struggling to make ends meet, living in a crappy apartment with a crappy landlord, attending school, falling behind in his classes, and trying to be Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And that's like that is like who Peter Parker is. That's like a lot of his situational circumstances in the comics. And there's Otto Octavius, great. Like, Alfred Molina is fantastic in this movie. Amazing. Like, but okay, I'm gonna keep on talking about the good stuff first.
Okay.
So, but yeah, the action is fucking incredible. I love Spider-Man 1. I love how campy it is. But the action just took a major step up in Spider-Man 2. And I loved Harry's arc in it. Harry, just seeing him descend into like obsession and negativity was like perfect setup for him becoming the Green Goblin. And then they fucking dropped that ball. But
we'll get to that.
No. Yeah, we'll get to there. We'll get to there. But J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson, always great, always incredible. Like,
no!
Yeah.
He said avenge.
Yeah, avenge me, avenge me.
No!
Yeah, like, I love the themes in the movie about sacrifice and selflessness and being a hero, how a hero is in each and every one of us. I love those mantras and those ideas. I love how they were incorporated into the movie, and I love the ending too. The ending was like totally earned, and it felt like, okay, this is what we've been waiting for these past two movies. This is like MJ and Peter finally getting together. MJ saying, enough of this shit. I'm going to go to the person I love and I'm going to tell it to them straight, and I'm not going to leave. Like, I'm not going to be scared away by supervillains or whatever. So yeah, I still love Spider-Man 2. With that being said, there are some things, some elements, if you will, that have not jived with me as of late.
Oh dear. Okay.
So let's start. Where should we start?
I'm concerned.
Yeah. No. You shouldn't be too concerned. It's not like detrimental. It's just stuff that rubs me the wrong way. So, first of all, Mary Jane, Kirsten Dunst has been done dirty by these scripts. Like, she literally has. Like, she is a good actress.
Yes.
Like, she does her damnedest to make MJ a very believable character. And her best work is in Spider-Man 3, in my opinion. Like, she's really good in Spider-Man 3. And she's good here, too, for what she's given. But it's like, it feels like none of the writers have seen what made MJ such a great character and such a great love interest for Peter Parker. It's like, MJ to me is not about the mind games, the trying to make Peter feel guilty for saying no to her and being with another guy and being mad at him for not showing up for. I mean, okay, they have their issues in the comics a lot, That's absolutely obvious. I'm not
Yes.
saying they don't. But the way they're handled in this movie, it feels like two middle school students like fighting. And I'm like, there are moments where Tobey Maguire and Kirsten Dunst have like really good chemistry. There are other times where they just don't at all. And I'm sorry, it's not their fault. It's the fact that the script won't fucking let them.
Yes.
It won't let them have those moments of chemistry. It won't let them. In Spider-Man 1 they did, where like like especially like when they're talking in the backyard. But
Yeah,
this
like,
movie,
I will definitively say the backyard is like their comfort zone, and like Ian's in the chat saying that like, oh no, Kirsten Dunst's delivery is just weak, like similar to like Rogue and X-Men, and I can't agree with that because Kirsten Dunst is a great actress. We saw her grow up in great films. We've seen her in other films that are really good.
yeah.
It's just in Spider-Man specifically, like there was the issue of Raimi or whoever wrote the scripts not knowing how to give Mary Jane anything but being the damsel or the woman to be pined over, and it's very frustrating because like yeah, go ahead.
No, like even in the comics, like even in this age where it's like women weren't really being empowered in comics or nerd culture, and like it was just starting to kick it up a notch. Like MJ was written to be a very, very strong, independent female character, and like she could get by on her own, but she wanted to be with Peter, and like hell, one like story arc in the early 2000s with J. Michael Straczynski, I believe, was like MJ believing that Peter did not need her anymore, and like Peter is just like, no, I need you, and MJ's like, that's all I needed to know. That is like powerful shit. And in here, it just feels like middle school puppy love that has no substance, and it's just like MJ's willing to marry this guy she doesn't love, John
God.
J. Jonah Jameson Jr. 4 J's,
God.
just to fuck with Peter's head like that. MJ would not go that far to like fuck with Peter that much.
No, she
she would playfully do stuff maybe, but she would not like she would not guilt trip Peter and make him feel like he's the worst person in the world because he missed her play or because he felt like he couldn't be with her. And she even says by the end of the movie, I think I knew all this time who you really were. And she recognized that kiss at the end of Spider-Man 1. So we're supposed to believe that in Spider-Man 2, she knows he's Spider-Man. Like, we're supposed to assume that. So if she knew he was Spider-Man, why did she do all this shit? Like, why did she complain to him for missing her play once? Why did she start to marry this guy that she didn't love just to specifically fuck with him?
And then specifically with the John Jameson thing, like, it made no sense. Like, she randomly was just like, I'm talking to John now. And then it was like, I'm gonna marry him. And it was like, where did this come from? You went like on one extravagant date with him that we know of. Like, the wedding was rushed. We don't really know how long the time period of the movie is, but like, you hopped in a dress real damn quick, lady. Like, it didn't really make sense. And like, oh, yeah. I'm an astronaut. Like, no,
I'm an astronaut who played. I'm literally a jock and a scientist. Like, I'm literally everything a woman could want. Like, and like, yeah, I have no character, and I have no character or personality.
Like, he's just a dumb jock, and like literally in the comics, John Jameson became Man-Wolf. Like, he's like, granted that isn't saying much, but like they haven't done anything with him in a while. But like, when he was used, it was done impactfully. So when they reduced him to just a football with teeth, and then have like Kristen Dunst like chasing after him, it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, you know what they should have done? They should have had him be Eddie Brock. No, listen. They could have easily set up because Eddie Brock was teased in the first movie. Hell, they actually shot scenes with Eddie Brock, and they had an actor playing Eddie Brock in Spider-Man 1. There's the actor who is now a football player posted this. So I know Eddie and MJ were not like appearing in the comics at all, but it could have been interesting setup for Spider-Man 3 because it was clear the producers wanted to do Venom in Spider-Man 3. That probably was clear for like years before they did Spider-Man 3. So they could have set up Eddie Brock in this movie by having him be MJ's love interest, and at the end of the movie, he's pissed because, Peter stole his girl. Peter's ruined him, essentially. You don't have to do all this hastily set up shit in Spider-Man 3. They could have had this guy be an important character and not just a throwaway football with muscles to coddle MJ just to make Peter feel bad. Like, it could have been something deeper, but it wasn't.
See, I'm gonna raise your John Jameson, and I'm gonna raise you a Flash Thompson because I honestly think that given somebody else be put in the role of Flash Thompson, I think Joe Manganiello, whatever I freaking pronounce it, like I feel
Manganiello.
Manganiello, like I feel like he would have been a great Eddie Brock. Like,
Yeah.
that's what that's where my mind's at, because especially because the dude who played John Jameson, like, it doesn't seem like he has like a decent bone in his body for acting wise. I don't feel like he could emote the emotion that Eddie Brock needs, because like, say what you will about Topher Grace not being built, the man could convey an emotion. Like,
oh yeah,
like he knew what the frick he was doing. So you need someone like Joe who can go in and do the work and like and be that like emotive character, because yes, I have watched the dreaded vampire porn that is True Blood, and the dude was a decent character on there. So if you wanted to see Eddie Brock in a new way, I would see Joe like doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. It just like it was a case, and like this isn't really necessarily a blame, because like back in this day with superhero films, you don't really plan far ahead. You really just plan movie to movie.
Yeah, that's why like, killing everybody off every damn movie.
Yeah. So that like when we're like, oh, they should have done this if they want to do this, it's because of hindsight, and like they didn't think they were going to get to do these things.
Yeah.
So it's just like, yeah, but it still feels like enough it still feels enough to warrant like criticism, I think. Yes. But so yeah, MJ in this movie is just like it's a terrible adaptation of the character, and I'm just like, and it sucks because like now so many people think that this is what MJ, and so that's
no.
Yeah, that's why like in the Amazing movies they're like, oh, Gwen Stacy, and now here with MCU Spidey, it's like they're too nervous to like fucking.
They're too nervous to like take that step, because there's photos of Shailene Woodley was supposed to be MJ in the Amazing.
Oh
movies.
Yeah.
There was a plan, and like, but then Andrew Garfield and Emma Watson got hitched, and not Emma Watson, Emma Stone, and like they got hitched. So like that like there was a plan to put Shailene Woodley in Amazing. Like, it's just people are afraid of MJ now because of the bad writing for Kirsten, and it's like, she was a great pick, but they kept doing her dirty.
Yeah, and that's why like so many different adaptations feel like they have to fix Mary Jane, like because they think like, oh, in the comic she's exactly like how she is in the Ring movies. So in here we're gonna make her a journalist, we're gonna make her book smart, and those are not bad things, but those are things that are just like. That's just like Lois Lane or Iris West or whatever. It's not Mary Jane. Mary Jane is very unique in that she is a model, she is an actress, but she is still like just she is still a strong person. Like, she is not just a damsel in distress.
But to
She can be
understand,
a
I like
model,
what the
and she can be an
PS4 game
actress.
did with her being a journalist, though.
No, I did absolutely, and like, okay, this is a different universe, so different take,
Yeah.
but it's still just like very clearly. It still feels to me like they're trying to distance themselves from the Raimi MJ. And
Yes.
again, like, and again in the game, like, okay, sure, how could if they want MJ to be an active part of the plot, how would she do that by being a model and an actress?
That's
That
true.
makes sense, I guess. But still, like, it's just now we have this negative correlation to the model slash actress MJ, and it's just, I wish that people would actually pay attention beyond just the Raimi films and not the comics. But anyway, yeah, MJ in this movie I didn't like. So I'm gonna be a bit controversial with this one.
Let's hear.
I love Alfred Molina as Otto Octavius.
How is that controversial?
Wait, I thought Otto was a pretty shallow character in this movie. I thought he,
Um,
I thought his motivation for needing to enact his goals of finishing his Sun machine was just so like shallow as a kiddie pool. Because, like, here's the thing: in the fucking game, it's actually pretty deep. In the game, it's like he doesn't just want to finish the machine; he wants to get revenge for Rosie's death, and he's also partially doing this for Rosie. And yeah, it's the arms that are messing with his head, but even that, I just feel like is cheap, and it feels like they're too worried about making him overtly a bad guy. Because, and like, I'm not gonna just try to make comparisons and say, "Oh, this sucks because this one's better." Because again, I love Alfred Molina as Otto. As Alfred Molina as Otto, I mixed the vowels, but like PS4 Doc Ock, I think was like the best adaptation of the character because you have the sympathy, but you also have the batshit insane megalomaniac. Like, you feel bad for Otto, yeah, but you see that, oh no, he was pretty messed up. Like, even before his mind got fucked with by the arms. Like, he had these, like, evil intentions in the back of his mind.
okay, but like, see, I get where your head's at. I do, and like yes, the idea of Otto having beef with Normans. That's why he like the arms were easy to manipulate him. It it leads to a very easy to rock out plot. But where I feel as if Melina's Otto really works for me is that he was totally isolated. He was just a dude trying to find a breakthrough for this thing, and he lost the love of his life. And rather than the arms feeding on negative emotion, like just past beef with Norman, the arms are feeding on the weakness that he feels for losing his wife, and him just wanting to achieve that final thing that he was trying to do with her, and he will go to any length, whether it be murder, whether it be stealing, whether it be anything. I like that idea of, because there's so many times that we try to have just a clear cut villain, like say someone could try to say that like, oh, Norman in the first movie was very tragic. He was not. He was a dumbass. Like he was greedy. He tried to rule nothing but power, and he got what was coming to him. With Melina, it was very true of like trying to make him a tragedy. And it made it intriguing and added more depth to Otto. Now, granted, I love PS4 Otto. Don't get it twisted. I love him, but I enjoy Molina's a little bit more because it took the idea of just an average villain and gave him more to lose. He had nothing to lose at that point. He just wanted to do this for his wife, and he didn't give a crap what he had to do to make that happen. And then when the arms, like when he finally wakes up and sees that the arms are freaking dumb, and he goes, "This is my mess. I have to fix it." It makes it really powerful.
No, I absolutely agree. But the only semblance we get that he is not just doing this for himself but also his wife is just the one line where he's like, "My Rosie's dead," and that's it for the rest of the movie. We never hear him say, and I get there's a world of difference between outright saying it and implicitly implying it,
Yeah.
but it felt like it did not work to imply that he was not just doing this for himself, but to finish what he and his wife have worked on together. And it just, yeah, it didn't feel like, it felt like for 1 second he was just like, oh well, my wife is dead. Now how about that son thing? Let's finish that. Let's rob some banks and kill some folks. And this is why I say, like, no, the game actually addressed this and addressed that he felt the pain so much of losing his wife and is now going to any lengths to finish what they worked on together and wants to get revenge on Spider-Man for killing his wife. And even in that scene where he approaches Harry about making the deal, Harry's like, both of us have lost someone because of him. And it's like, that's a good reason for both of them to be like, no, let's fucking do this. Because Harry's pretty much coerced into it, but only because he's like, no, I get to kill Spider-Man. But in the movie, it wasn't demonstrated that well, and to me, it just came across as, oh, he wants to, the arms want to finish this sun machine, so they're making him finish this sun machine. And, like, it, and I get that, like, I get what they were going for, definitely, but the execution felt like it had a lot to be desired, in my opinion. But I do like the elements of making him a tragedy, if he was just going to be a one-off, because if you're going to have a villain that's going to be like around for a long time, you can't just have them turn good at the end of the first thing and then mosey on. You'd have to keep that consistent throughout. But Otto was a one and done villain in this movie, so it makes sense that he'd regain, if this was the version of him they were trying to do, he'd regain some semblance of sanity and try to finish, well, not try to finish, but like try to atone for his mistakes.
Yeah.
So I definitely get that, but to me it's just like those elements that would have made it really more enriching were put in the game and left out from the movie. And it's interesting because I feel like it had to have been in the original script more often than not, that his wife's death was something that was also driving him throughout the rest of the movie. Because with the way they made these games, it was like they got early scripts or story treatments from like far before, from like very early in pre-production.
Yeah.
So this is when they'd start. So then they take that and use it as a base to start making the game around it. And that's why, like, the games are never one-to-one to the movie. But
Mysterio.
Yeah, Mysterio. Why wasn't the Alien Man in Spider-Man 2? Who knows?
Right?
Yeah. Like, even to a point, like, the first E3 trailer for Spider-Man 2, the game, like, from 2003, had the lizard in it. And had this, like, really scary redesign of the lizard. Because I think at some point, Dr. Connors was going to be the lizard. But they cut that out.
Want to put the lizard in things?
Because the lizard's cool. And he's tragic.
I guess. But they made Doc Ock tragic, so it makes up for it.
Yeah. Debatable. But anyway. Like, I feel like that deeper level for him had to have been in, like, an early script or an early draft. And they seem to just cut it down for time.
Yeah, possibly.
But regardless, I still think Alfred Molina as Otto was great. And, like, he's a whole lot of fun. And I do like the tragic aspects of his character, but it just came across as more shallow to me than it did to most other people. But beyond that, I don't know. Okay. I like the idea of Peter losing his powers, but him losing them just because of a mental, like, it's never, like, it's not even explicit what it is that's, like, making him not have his powers anymore.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, oh, he's sad that MJ's marrying some guy, I guess. my powers aren't going to work anymore. And like, I feel like in the script, I feel like the script writers were like, oh, this is going to be like very deep and very, not philosophical, but like it's going to be something very resonant, emotional. And it just came across as, oh, he's just losing his powers because of something. Because it's like, the problem is the impact of, like, the cause of him losing his powers is already fucking stupid. Like, MJ dicking around with him just because she can to marry this space jockey from Alien. I'm gonna call him Space Jockey from now on because that's a fitting name for him. But like that make, like, it comes across as, again, shallow because it's just like, oh well, we need him to struggle with his powers. So let's have MJ's gonna marry Space Jockey to fuck with him, and now he's sad, so his webs, his organic webs don't work no more, and he can't be sticky anymore, and his eyesight's going, and it's just like it like, it's one of those things where it's just like it felt like they wanted to go all the way with this and like make a huge story out of him losing his powers, but they didn't know how to approach it, so they're just like, it felt very wishy-washy in how it was handled. It's like, oh, I guess I'm losing my powers for some reason because I'm sad, and now, like, oh, MJ's kidnapped by Otto, they're back now, I'm not sad anymore, I guess.
I think he got them back during that decision with, like, the "Do you love me?" Like, it wasn't that he got them back because of her. It was that he was getting them back in that moment. Like, because he was able to sense the car. Like, it wasn't like, you're talking to me, I got my power. Like, that's not, no. I feel as if that it was... Because you are right that, like, the idea of they were just like the whole concept of them disappearing, almost like a spider boner, was kind of dumb. But like the idea of them actually being there when he needed them most, it was almost like he needed to regain an appreciation for them, kind of thing. That was kind of intriguing for me. So like him being able to save her when it mattered most was kind of cool, if that makes sense.
Yeah. What actually would have been more interesting, and this is like a problem the Raimi films have in general, is that they don't really show how smart Peter is beyond just school. Like, it would have been interesting if, like, he was starting to get rid of his spider powers by his own volition, by like making some kind of serum, like with the whole man spider thing, except he wouldn't become man spider, he would just like start to lose his powers, but then he'd like realize, no, I need to be Spider-Man. Like, I feel like that would have been more effective to me, because that would have been more of a personal struggle of him wanting to take control of his own life, but then realizing like he needs to do this. Like, he can't just say fuck being Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I feel like that would have been better, and it's just, I don't mean this whole podcast to be me saying, oh, this is how I would have done it. I would have done it better. I don't mean to sound like that at all. I just think there are ideas in here that I think like are good and were like really good for the time.
Yeah.
But with hindsight, it's just like, well, that was kind of a bit shallow. That was a bit wishy-washy. That didn't land completely. Nowadays, because we have had more films that have taken on these ideas, and I think have done them in a more solid way.
Yeah.
And like, I'm not going. And like, here's the thing: I love the Raimi movies, and I give them complete credit for the superhero movies we have nowadays. That, like in Richard Donner's Superman, those movies, like, they pave the way.
Yes.
But they should not be held up to this untouchable standard where they can never be criticized, or they can never be analyzed in a way that would maybe like take the pros and cons. Like, you can't just act like stuff is always like it's just full of pros and no cons just because it came out before all this other stuff.
I mean, to be fair, we still haven't got a better Superman movie than Richard Donner.
Wait, what?
To be fair, we still haven't got a better Superman movie than Richard Donner.
Fair. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But yeah, like there, it shouldn't be frowned upon to look at these things from the past and look like, okay, what actually did work and what actually didn't work.
Oh no, and like what's good about this conversation is you're not just going, "Oh, I hate it, it's horrible." Like you're not just like tearing it to shreds. You're actually trying to offer decent criticism and like of it and trying to say, "Hey, this could have been better." Like the Mary Jane thing, the script could have been better. Like these people could have looked at what Mary Jane actually was as a character in the comic books and made her more compelling and give Kirsten more to work with, because it's obvious that she could have handled more than what she had. So like,
Yeah.
you're offering like valid criticisms. You're not just like trying to throw it to the side and say it's horrible. Bye. Like no. Like you're actually doing something with the conversation, which is interesting.
No. I would never, like, unless it was like a really terrible movie, I wouldn't do. I love these movies. I grew up with them. Like they helped like shape. They ignited my love for superheroes and Spider-Man. They did. So I feel like I'm okay to like look back on these and be like, oh, like this is still good, but this didn't really work. This didn't really work. This could have been done better and whatnot. But like, I think like when you're so confident that you do love something, it's fine to look at these things and be like, okay, this whatever. But no, like I think like the whole losing the powers thing should have been either left out or been done much stronger. But again, this is an age where stuff like this hasn't really been done before, or often at least.
Yeah, like now with hindsight, we have seen amazing improvements and like things
like we have
in amazing ways.
Like we have fucking Endgame coming out tomorrow. We have come a long way.
Most definitely.
So yeah, so it's like, of course, with hindsight, we're going to look back on these and pick it apart, but you still recognize that they're good and like they helped pave the way for this stuff.
Yes.
And everything is going to pave the way for stuff, whether it be good or bad. Like whether or not you like the DCEU, the MCU helped pave the way for that. I'm not gonna get into a debate about who stole who from what or whatever, because that's dumb.
Because the fact of the matter remains that they've stolen from each other. Like,
yes,
they're the same dang thing. Like, they do. Yeah, there's nothing to work with for that.
But like, to those of you who do love the DCEU, that would not have existed without the MCU taking that first step.
Yes.
And that's just the thing. And like, they take ideas from each other all the time. And like, now that Marvel's done the MCU, you have the DCEU, you have the Monsterverse, which I'm hoping will actually be good. Please, Godzilla 2.
It looks
please,
good.
Godzilla 2. I need Godzilla 2 to be good. If it's bad, I'm gonna cry. But yeah, so like, we have all this stuff because something paved the way for it. And Spider-Man, and especially Spider-Man 2 did. Spider-Man 2, for like 4 years until The Dark Knight came out, people were like, no, this is the best superhero movie ever made.
Yes.
I think Roger Ebert said him, like, on his review show, Spider-Man 2 was like the best superhero movie he's ever seen when it came out. So that's a testament to how good the film is. And like, I'm gonna stop bitching, okay? I'm gonna stop.
Stop your bitching, Alec.
I'm gonna stop my bitching. So, like, there is so much love about Spider-Man 2. There really is. Like, the fucking train sequence.
Oh my gosh.
Oh god, like that is.
I'm not a fan of the Jesus allegory with them lifting him up, but like that the rest of it is still amazing.
Like, the Jesus allegory is dumb, but like, when his mask comes off and he gets in front of the train and people are seeing his face and he just like, nobody cares, and he's just like, tell everybody to hang on, and like trying everything he can to stop this train, to like save these people, because it's like he's like, shit, this, like, a lot of this time I have been neglecting people who needed my help. I need to save all these people. And then he finally does it, and what do? They fucking catch him before he falls. and put him down, and then they keep their word that they're never going to tell anybody what he looks like or who he is or whatever. That is magic. That is beautiful. That's like, that has to be one of the best moments ever made for the character.
Yes.
Comics or shows or films, whatever. Like, that is beautiful. And like, the moment I still love this moment, even though I criticize MJ and their relationship. The moment where Peter turns around and MJ has this kind of relieved look on her face when she sees who he is, that is a beautiful moment. I love that. And the ending, too, where she runs back to him and is like, you know what? No, I'm done fucking around. I want to be with you, and I don't care if I'm in danger. It's worth it. Like, that is Mary Jane and Peter. They forget that when the next movie comes around, but that is MJ and Peter. And that's perfect. And look, yeah, I criticize Otto. He is still pretty good in this movie, and he has some really, yeah, he's amazing. And I'm always gonna love that part where he's bringing Aunt May up to Spider-Man, and he drops me. He's like, Butterfingers. I love that moment. What?
I like it, but it always just like scare me. Like, don't drop the old lady.
Oh, I thought the moment was funny where she was like hanging on to like an angel statue, and she was like got lifted down. She looks up at the angel and she's like, "Thank you."
Yeah, that was powerful. Like, it's almost like like Ben was looking out for her in a way. I love that.
Oh, I didn't even think of that. No, I didn't even think of that. Wow. No, that's better than I remember it now that you brought that up.
See, like, there's a lot of imagery in this movie.
You learn something new every day, right?
Mm-hmm.
But no, like, there is so much to love about Spider-Man 2, and I still remember the Spider-Man 2 cereal that came out, and I'm always going to be forever sad that Kellogg's won't make it anymore. I tweeted out weeks ago.
Yeah, I know.
You saw. I tweeted out weeks ago that I like asked them, please bring back the Spidey Berry Pop-Tarts and cereal, and they said thank you for your request. We can't guarantee, but it's nice to learn about it. So I'm like, I have that sliver of hope that one day I will finally taste the sweet flavor of Spidey Berry again. I have that sliver of hope. It was good fucking shit. It was the best cereal ever made.
I never had it. That's why I'm just like dying.
Oh, you missed out. The Pop-Tarts and the cereal were fucking beautiful. They were amazing. They were delicious. I'm just.
Well,
please.
I don't think we can top like a Spidey Berry cereal for the evening. You set the bar too high.
Yeah, sorry everybody. Okay. But oof. So James, do you have any final thoughts on Spidey-Man 2? Back to the Hood?
Oh my god, that was a horrible joke.
I'm sorry.
It was funny but horrible at the same time. I love it.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine, dude. I will always think of this movie as what showed me that heroes can rise and fall in the worst of times. Because I still think of that scene of like her going, "Do you love me?" And then he catches her and saves her. Like, that moment of like avoiding the car coming through the window always sticks with me, because I used to watch that trailer over and over again. I used to have because I had a copy of iRobot, I think, and that trailer was always in the DVD, and I would watch that over and over and over again, and that scene sticks with me as that's what a true hero is. After having a low point, Ian, that is a horrible pun. He's a two Spider 2 man in the freaking chat.
Oh god.
But no, all bad puns aside, this movie showed me that Spider-Man is one of the premier superheroes of all time. we will be dead, and small children that haven't even been thought of yet will know that Spider-Man is an iconic character, and that shows me that the world of not just comic books with superheroes as a medium will never die, and that this movie is what first showed me that. So I will always go back to this movie more than any other Spider-Man movie because of what all of it means. And that goes double for the game because Pete's time and also Mysterio aliens and also, like you said, there's a little bit more depth to it. And just that iconography of until the PS4 game came out, excuse me, there was this staple of no Spider-Man game could top PS2. And because of that, both the game and the movie have become this untouchable force for me in a way. Like, I know there's a lot of people that like the Amazing movies, and we'll talk about that when we get to it, but I still think that nothing that they did could top what Spider-Man 2 did. And, like, there's that whole cheesy moment at the end where, like, she's running through Central Park in the dress, and it's so dumb. But, like, she gets to the apartment, and, like, they have their moment. And like, Ian said earlier in the chat that, like, the delivery of Go Get 'Em Tiger wasn't that good. I disagree with you, good sir. I think that was the perfect way for her to say that. And he just takes off and does what he needs to do. And it was great. And it was like, yes, your hair is fake, Kirsten. I know you're blonde, but you sold that scene. Praise you, child. Like, that was great. So, like, it's not a perfect 10. Obviously, it has its faults. But, like, Ian, it doesn't stop. But, like, nah, like, it doesn't, like, it obviously isn't a perfect 10, but it definitely is still the upper tier of superhero movies to me. Like, my top three are still Black Panther, Aquaman, and, I totally forgot my other third. I'll think of it later. Like, my top two are Aquaman and Black Panther, but this is probably still in my top 10 because of how amazing and how impactful it is. And that's where I'm going to leave that.
Yeah, I want to take an example of what you said of how, like, even when we're dead, like, kids that haven't been thought of yet, like, will still know the name of Spider-Man and will still be reading these comics. Not just kids, but people in general. Yesterday, there was a video that released from Jimmy Fallon from his show.
God.
It was basically him and the cast of Avengers Endgame doing a little parody of We Didn't Start the Fire, but recapping the MCU.
Uh-huh.
And some people have said, "Oh, it's cringy. It's
not cringy at all. It's amazing. I love
like
it.
It shows exactly why superheroes and Marvel and, like, in general, like, superheroes are so important and impactful, because it shows how far the MCU has come, like, from Iron Man to Incredible Hulk to Thor to Captain America to Ant-Man to Guardians of the Galaxy to Spider-Man to Squirrel Girl. Yeah. God, she's cast, and we still haven't seen anything from the New Warrior show. Rest in peace. But anyway, like, it's showing how far this has come. And just at a point, I started tearing up watching it before the ending. Like, because it's just like, wow, these past 11 years have been through so much. And now, like, and then we get to the part where it's like, they sing the lyrics, but even when we're gone, it will still burn on and on and on. Uh-huh. And then it turns into a mosaic of Stan Lee. Uh-huh. And, like, that is the quintessential definition of comics and of Spider-Man. Because whatever happens to him, you can kill him. You can make him break up with his girlfriend. You can erase his marriage. You can do all these things that should not be done to this character. But it will still live on. And that is, like, And again, that is exemplified by the fact that in this new run, after 10 years, they finally let Peter and MJ get back together.
Yes.
Because it's like, you can try as hard as you can. You cannot like put that fire out.
Yes.
And Spider-Man 2 like, it did help reignite the fire, I think. Regardless of my, you can say they're shitty opinions or whatever, but whatever. But like, this movie did so much for comic book films, for superhero movies, for kids, for teens, for adults. It did so much for so many people who love this character, and like even helped expose the character to new people.
Yes.
Sorry. Like, I grew up watching these movies, and I would not be the person I am today without them. So like, Spider-Man 2 was such a huge phenomenon, and just like, we would not still be getting these movies today if it were not for Spider-Man 1 and Spider-Man 2. We just wouldn't. And it's like, there is so much to love about this movie. There is absolutely so much. Like, there may be some really crappy parts I do not like watching, but it's all worth it for that last scene where MJ says, "So here I am standing in your doorway. I've always been standing in your doorway." That is Peter Parker and Mary Jane Watson. That is a perfect representation of those characters, even if some of the movie before did not do it as well.
Yes.
And it's just a testament to how this, like, something like this can just, it's immortal now. It can't ever die. It can't ever be buried. There's no way that can happen.
It's more immortal than Hulk.
It's more, ha, got him. Terrible joke. But anyway, Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 1, 2 down. How many to go? Let's see. Spider-Man 3, Basic Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2, Homecoming, Venom. 5 to go until Far From Home.
Oh god, you're gonna make me watch Venom. Oh god.
Oh, if I had to suffer through Venom, you will too.
Okay. It's literally gonna be an hour of me just saying Tom Hardy sucks.
You will watch it and you will not like it, but I don't care. You will still watch it.
Fine. Okay.
Like, it's at least, there's enough in it for it to be laughably bad. So you will find some enjoyment in that.
Fine.
At least. But anyway, I'll get out of here before the Venom defenders come to me and say that it was actually a masterpiece and better than every kitty MCU movie.
God.
But anyway, so James, any last words?
No, thank you once again. Thank you for having me. This has been a great time.
No problem. So once again, you can follow me on Twitter. I am at the Alec Thorn. You can follow James on Twitter. He is at James C. Portis3. You can follow the On Comics Ground Twitter page, which is at On Comics Ground. You can go to the Facebook page and give us a like on there. You can follow our Twitter page, which is at LOTE_podcast. We are trying to reach 100 followers by September-ish. So please, it would mean the world if you guys could do that for us. You can subscribe to the On Comics Ground YouTube channel, and of course, you can subscribe to our Twitch channel, which is where our podcast will be from now on. But we should have this up on YouTube as well for all of you who do not have time to stream on Twitch. So,
also, our amazing senior editor and creative director Kai is going to be going to Calgary Expo this weekend.
Oh, that's right.
So, up in Canada, for all you Canadians out there, if you are going to be at Calgary Expo this weekend and want to meet up with her, she will be giving away amazing prizes and some of our stickers for you guys to check out. So please, check her, hit her up if you see her.
Yeah, definitely do that. I feel so weak backing up something like that. I don't know why. I just don't know what to say after that. But anyway, yeah, if you see Kai at Calgary Expo, go say hi to her. And participate in whatever game she's going to play and what prizes she's going to give out. She won't do shady stuff, we promise. So
Give your liver for a prize.
Give your liver for a sticker. So anyway, this has been episode 8 of Living on the Edge on our road to Far From Home. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and we will see y'all later. Bye.
Bye.